Hi, it's me, Ms. White. We're on lesson 1.3. What's going on in this picture? This is where we're coming back to the pre-assessment, and I'm showing you how to get it done, how to do your best possible version of this, because our summative next class or the class after is going to be you writing one of these without help. So today you can work on this together if you want. I can help you and I'll give you some tips and tricks. Learning target. Today I'll ask myself the 5W questions about an image so that I can make inferences about that image. I'll know I've got it when I can write a more detailed what's going on in this picture using multiple pieces of evidence. The pieces of evidence are things that you can see. So for example, you're not going to say, they look frustrated, because that's a judgment. You would say something like they are, their eyebrows are pulled together, they're crossing their arms, and the inference is that they are frustrated. Okay, here is the picture that I'm going to give you my example for. When I do this, I'm kind of just trying to get a general idea, like coming up with some stories in my own head, like what could this be? I thought about what was keeping some people from giving a lot of detail. And I think that maybe in the pre-assessment, some people just picked like one detail and didn't look at the whole picture. They saw one thing and made kind of like an idea for it based on that one detail. I want you to look at all the details. One way to do this is to ask yourself the 5 W's. Who, what, when, where, why. Okay, so who? I can tell that these are Chinese police and children because the adults are wearing police uniforms and I see Chinese writing. See, the Chinese writing is here, 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 it's everywhere. So I know that this is in China because I know Chinese. If you didn't know what Chinese looked like, you could be like, this is in Asia, I can tell this is an Asian language. What? This is when you're saying, what are they doing? What do you think they're doing? Of course you don't know. You're taking an educated guess. So I think what they're doing is the police are showing kids some of what it's like to be a police officer. And I think that because of the evidence that this boy is carrying this, it looks like some kind of police equipment, and this girl is wearing a police vest. Okay, when? I can tell that it's recent because everyone's wearing masks. That wouldn't have been true like 5 years ago. Where? Again, I think that it's in China. The people in this picture all look Asian, and I know that this language is Chinese. And just so you guys know, if you're talking about race, that's okay. It's not racist to notice race or to talk about it. It's only when you're making a judgment about people based on their race. Okay. And why? This got a little cut off, so I'll make it a little bit smaller. This is my kind of opinion about why. This probably has the least evidence from the picture, but I'm going to do it anyway. Maybe they want the maybe they want the community to be happy with the police. And I know this because everyone is smiling in this picture. It seems like a good thing, like the kids aren't in trouble, obviously. And I know that this kind of activity is outside of what the police usually do at their job. I think that they're doing this so that the community has warm feelings towards the police. Okay, now you are going to put all of this together. So you have these little chunks that you've written, and you just have to turn these chunks into 2 sentences. If it's hard for you to do that, you can write in shorter sentences, but I fit mine into 2 sentences. So what's going on in this picture? Recently, that's when, let me make this bigger. Recently, police in China showed kids what it's like to be police, maybe to improve community relations. Okay, do I have a who? Yes, police in China. Do I have a what? Yes, they showed kids what it's like to be police. Do I have a when? Recently. Do I have a where? In China. Do I have a why? Maybe to improve community relations. So see how I fit all those together to be one sentence? What do you see that makes you say that? I just listed the things that I put in the right column. So the things that I put here, masks, wearing police uniforms, I just listed those. I see adults wearing police uniforms, Chinese writing, kids holding and wearing police equipment, and everyone is smiling. See how I use these commas, these serial commas? You can do that when you're writing a list to make it work. Okay, how am I grading you on the summative version of this? You know, a lot of you got around here because you made an inference, but you didn't use a lot of evidence, or the evidence that you used didn't make sense. To get a good score, you need to make an inference with 2 or more pieces of evidence and support. You have to explain how they're connected. So some people put stuff like, I think that they're at a birthday party. And then what do you see that makes you say that? You're like, I see Chinese writing. Okay, what's that have to do with a birthday party? Like, you have to make sure that your evidence proves what you're saying. So I can infer they're in China because I see Chinese writing. Do I know for sure that they're in China? No. They could be at the Chinese embassy in America, but I just don't think so because of the evidence here. It's like a lot of Chinese writing, this ATM machine, etc. Okay, so for your mission, see a little guy? That means you're gonna look at this to answer the who, what, when, where, why, and these 2 questions. Okay, guys, the reason why I put these is so that you can see the learning target and see my examples as you're working. So if you're like, what do? You can go back to my example and that should help you. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.